The people taking part in that meeting is Sheikh Mohamed al-Yaqoubi, a prominent Islamic scholar who was recently forced from his role as Friday speaker at a mosque in Damascus after criticising the government. He was also banned from public speaking. He joins us now live from Istanbul. Thank you for being with us, sir. What is the aim of this meeting there in Istanbul today? Are you going to form a shadow government?
No, definitely not. That was excluded. It was an idea proposed by some of the opposition leaders, but now it is excluded. I think the main job of the conference is to save the country, to prepare for the next phase.
There are so many...
The real makers of the revolutions are the people in the streets.
Okay, there are so many Syrian opposition groups attending this meeting, many of whom, of course, are in exile. Are they going to be able to reach a consensus on the way forward?
Well, I don't speak on behalf of the conference. I just speak on behalf of myself and the Syrian people in the streets who are making the revolution. I believe it is one of the best things to have a variety of opinions and directions, and we have so many opinions in the opposition, but they all agree on one thing: stop the killing in the streets. They all agree on one thing: establishing justice in the country. And they all agree on one important thing: dialogue is impossible now after the army and the Secret Service people just started killing and stopping the demonstrators in the streets. So I believe the dialogue is far behind now, and the first and the last word is for the people in the streets making the demonstrations and making the revolution.
You say that dialogue would be impossible. Wouldn't it have been better for the opposition to be a part of the flawed dialogue process that is currently underway in Syria, rather than boycotting it as it has done and having to meet outside of the country?
Well, there are people inside the country who are making the dialogue with the government, but the government doesn't want to do any dialogue about transmission of power. The main subject of the dialogue is now how to maintain the recent government, the recent body of the government, which I believe is very wrong. The dialogue would be about, making it open for people who would like to make a real change and transmitting the country into a democratic state as it was before. Syria is not new to democracy. Democracy was well known before 1963, 8th of March, before the Ba'ath Party seized power.
As we said, yesterday's demonstrations in Syria were the largest and most widespread in the 4 months that they've been going on. Do you believe now that there is a certain momentum behind these protests now, that people are determined to see the back of the government?
Yes, we've come to a different level. The regime lost its legitimacy from the very first moment when it started shooting its own people in the streets. And this has been confirmed now with the masses going on the streets, with these mass demonstrations, I believe, and also more and more people speaking up when they have an opportunity and expressing their opinions. I think there's no way back now, and the regime should start thinking of a dialogue which aims at saving the country's economy, saving the country from a civil war, I believe.
So what will happen at the end of this conference there in this meeting in Istanbul? Will there be a communique issued? Will there be a rallying call for protesters on the streets in Syria?
Well, this is up to the organizers of the conference, but let me tell you just what was said, that this conference is one stop on the way to bringing a new Syria, with a new face, democratic face, a civil state which guarantees justice, democracy and liberty to every citizen in the country. It's just one step and one stop on the way to achieving that goal.
Many thanks indeed for being with us. That's Sheikh Mohamed al-Yaqoubi there, speaking from Istanbul.